Hey guys, and welcome back to part 9 in the Wally modelling series. While I wasn't recording, I quickly went ahead and adjusted the size of this piece and the scale and so on, and I also extruded this edge, these faces, so it comes and hangs out here. I thought I'm not gonna record it because this will be a good exercise for you guys. We've already done quite a lot of these steps, so you should already know by this point how to extrude that face and then just add in a couple of extra edge loops. So it shouldn't be difficult to do, and this way at least the tutorial will test your skills if you learned everything that we've been learning so far. So it shouldn't be too difficult. All you gotta do is select all these faces, okay, which should be for you down there, and then after you selected all the faces, just hit extrude and then extrude them out. And then obviously you're gonna have to go ahead and if you smooth it, you'll exactly see where you need to add the extra edge loops. So you'll probably need another you'll need obviously an extra edge loop down here, so it will hold at the corner, and you obviously will need one or a couple around here, so it will hold that edge as well. And then after you've done that, you'll have this piece completed like mine. And then the only thing I've done is I grouped these two together, and then basically I just scaled them out on this axis, so they'll be a little bit wider, okay, because I thought they were too thin, and this way yours should look something similar. But this is one of those things where you can add your personal touch to it, so you're gonna have to go ahead and eyeball some of these things, because obviously this piece is not to reference but to my personal judgment about how it should be looking, okay? And this is one of those skills that you're gonna have to go ahead and develop via your modeling, because there will be many times when you're modeling off the reference and it doesn't look right, so you're just gonna have to go ahead and base your model of the reference but not exactly go with it, and you'll have a lot better result at the end, okay? So go ahead and do that and experiment and play around, and that's the way I learned, okay? So I went to university I go to university to study animation, but most of the things that I learn are from trial and error, so play around with it if it doesn't work out. But by this time you should really know the basics of what we are doing, so you shouldn't really get lost or find this as a difficult task to do, okay? And I might do some more of these later on where for little proportional judgments and things like this, I might not record it, because you guys should be able to figure out by yourself by now, okay? So anyway, having said that, after you model that piece and you think it looks right, it doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but make sure it looks like how you want it to. And then we're going to go ahead and model this last piece that's sitting on the top of this, and that way most of the head will be created now, apart from these this cable here, okay? So I'm just going to get up my reference, and we're going to go ahead and start modeling this piece. Yep, so I'm thinking to base off this one, but we ain't gonna. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna we're gonna leave that where it is, and then we're just gonna move things around, okay, after we build that model. So we're gonna go ahead and create a cube or a rectangle, something like this, and about that high, I think, and that should look roughly okay. And I think, just for proportional reasons, we're going to go ahead and duplicate this piece and bring it down, and we're going to zero out the rotation and just bring it up to 0, 0, 0, so it sits exactly where it should be, and this way we'll roughly know how big our piece gonna have to be, because this piece will be sitting over this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust the scale and also the height. So I'm gonna go ahead and scale this down. Just so it looks okay, and that looks pretty good. It seems like that this piece is gonna come out to about here, and they're also gonna go in a little bit more. So that's looking good. The length don't really matter because that's gonna be changed about anyway. So now we're going to go ahead and insert some edge loops. So we're going to need one around here, and we're also going to need one around here. And now if I go into my front view, we're going to go ahead and delete these faces here because we don't need them, like so. And we're obviously going to have to go ahead, and if I just isolate this for now, we're going to have to go ahead and fill this hole in. I don't know if the mesh fill hole will work. We'll give it a go. So go to mesh fill hole, and it did a pretty good job. So we're just going to have to go ahead and cut across here. So go to interactive split tool, and I'm going to turn my magnet up to 0.5 where it was from default. And then we're going to go ahead and cut from this point to this point. And there we go. Now we got our faces. And I'm just going to come out of isolate and see how my piece is looking. So this piece will sit on the top of that piece, how you see it right there, like that. Okay, so but first we're gonna have to go ahead and add some more detail to this. We're gonna have to go ahead and select this face, it seems like to me, yeah. And well, before that we're gonna go ahead and add another edge loop. So select the insert edge loop tool, and we're gonna give it around halfway there, I think, maybe a little bit higher. Halfway should do it. And then we're going to go ahead and select this face and go ahead and extrude, and we're going to go ahead and drag it out to about here. Okay, and now we have that, we're going to go ahead and add another edge loop. Insert edge loop tool to about here, and we're gonna have to go ahead and let me just have a look how we should do this. We're gonna have to connect these two edges, so might have been easier if we just extruded that as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these faces that we just made, and go ahead and go to mesh fill hole, and now I'm just going to quickly use my interactive split to cut across, and that looks fine. So we're going to go ahead again and select this, this and this, and extrude these now together like so. And then we're going to grab this edge and move it in to roughly about there, and that is the shape that we are looking for. Maybe if we move it in a little bit more, like so, and that is the shape. Okay, so now we're just going to have to go ahead and add some edge loops to this. So I can now just hide this or delete it because it was a duplicate anyway, and I'm just going to move this off the grid, and we can start ahead. We can go ahead and start adding the edge loops that we need. So it will hold its shape and it will be all nice and beveled. So we're going to go ahead and select the insert edge loop tool and start inserting some edges. So I'm going to need one here, and we're going to need one here and here as well. Now I'm going to come around. You're going to need one around here, so we'll hold that corner. You're going to need one in here as well. We're going to need one around here, so it will hold the edge, which according to my reference should be fairly sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and add another edge loop around there. And where else do we need an edge loop? We're going to need some edge loops around here. So we'll hold that corner. And obviously you're going to need one going around here. I need one about here, so that will hold that corner. Here as well. And again, it's just finding where we need edge loops and inserting them. So we'll hold the shape once we go ahead and smooth this out. So you're going to need one going around here as well. And I think we should have most of it by now. I'm just going to go ahead and add one around here as well, so it's not going to get distorted too much. Now let's go ahead and hit smooth, see how it's looking, and see if we got the result that I was after. And yep, it is looking good apart from this end, but that's not going to be seen, so that's not too big of a issue. But that's beveled nicely. This is beveled nicely, but I think we're going to need another one. Yep, that's right. So I'm just going to go ahead and find the endpoint, which is here. So I'm going to go ahead, insert edge loop tool again, and just add one in here. And then go ahead and smooth this again. See if it's looking any better now, and it is. And I think it's looking good now. So we can go ahead and add this to our model. I'm just gonna make sure that everything is fine. That's fine. And these are fine as well. Okay, so hit smooth, and again have a look around it. So a lot of is, you know, looking around your model, make sure everything's smoothed correctly and it looks correct, and you should get a pretty good result out of this. So there we are, and now I can just go ahead and move this up to where it should be sitting. Obviously again we're going to have to rotate this, and this is rotated minus 20.5. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, it does. And then now I can just position this to the right place. And if I look at my reference, it seems to be sitting perfectly on the top here, like that, and in here it basically comes out about halfway off this, like so. So this is what it basically looks like. And then if we go ahead now and try to adjust the angle, seems okay. If I just copy the exact same one, like so, that should fit on there perfect. And if I just have a look on this bottom piece, it should come out to about here. And again, I'm just looking at it, trying to figure out how these pieces would fit together in real life ish. So that looks good to me now. There's a little bit of a gap there, so I'm just gonna move it down a tad, and this bottom edge is not supposed to go inside, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that now. If we select vertex mode again and make sure that we select the bottom ones, it should be all the way up to here, I think, or might even be more, and drag it up. We might just scale it. Yeah, let's just scale it a little bit, and then move this up. Move it down. And now we can see that gap there, which is really annoying. So we're going to have to go ahead and figure out a way to hide that, and we'll probably just move this piece up a little bit, like so, and then obviously this piece is going to have to come up as well, which means this piece is going to have to come up a tad, like so, and now it should be looking exactly like how we want it to look, and it does, I think. And again, I'm just making tiny little adjustments that I think is needed, and it seems like that this piece is going to have to go inside, and I don't really know where this piece is gonna go, because I don't have a reference of it, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and select those verts and move this inside the head as well, so it will look like this from this angle. And I do like that this is overhanging a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and select everything, so I'm going to name this head, back, top, like so, and we're going to go ahead and select everything and group it and name it. Ooh, I think we grouped our screws as well, so let me just undo that. There we are. We'll name this, we'll make a group of these called screws, and then I'm going to go ahead and select all these and group them and name this head, back, and now I'm going to go ahead and just move it down, modify center pivot, press that, and we're going to go ahead and just move it down a little bit, but we're missing this piece which is in the wrong group. That's not a screw. Why is this called a screw? I'm going to go ahead and ungroup and rename this, and we're going to go ahead and just middle mouse button and drag this into the right group. Now if I select a group and move it down like so, that should be looking awesome. And now I'm just going to go ahead and rotate the whole group so this top piece lines up perfectly with that, and it's going to sit pretty close to it like so. And again, here we got a little bit of an issue, so I'm just going to go ahead and move it so it's close but they're not too close. And now I'm just looking around the model, making sure that everything looks fine.